What is going on, guys? It's Cole with Dakota Dirt Outdoors, and welcome back to the channel. This is video number 2, and you know, video number 1, ooh, voice crack there. Video number 1 was obviously quite sketchy. It wasn't as professional, but now we're getting a little bit more serious with this. We got ourselves the new microphone, so let me know what you guys think of it, how I sound and everything. So let's get started in today and what we're getting accomplished. So obviously, you can see the truck in the background there. We're trucking more corn, and we got a little problem going on today, and it's not gonna be fun. But first and foremost, let's get this conveyor moved over to our other bin and get that started. So some of you may be wondering why we're pulling out of our side tap on our bin. Well, I'll show you exactly why. So this exactly right here is why. Obviously, this corn got a little too hot and started crusting up and molding a little bit. Well, in our case, that's not good because obviously you don't get as much money for it. Well, we're taking a little bit and trying to actually do something with this. So what we're doing is we're loading the front hopper of the truck with some, just like a little bit under half of the front hopper, and then the back hopper doing about the same thing, then going over to another bin and blending it off so it actually does come out as good corn. We can't afford to lose any corn in that sense and in that way. So we just got to do that. Unfortunately, not the best way to do things, but you just got to do what you got to do sometimes. I mean, it's not the best. But other than that, on the bright side, big girl's looking clean. I mean, shoo! She is pretty. And for her being that pretty, I haven't even washed her in a little over a week, which is kind of rare. I usually wash her, you know, at least once a week, if not twice a week. But this week I've been slacking a little bit, actually due to the shop being full with equipment. Had a couple things going there and a couple more updates for you guys as we go along. But yeah, this is what we're getting into today, and it's not gonna be fun. It's timely. It does take a long time because you got to go from the front hopper to the back hopper, then to another bin and load the front hopper, then the back hopper. It's not fun, but what can you do? So as I said, we'll load the front hopper, so we'll load it there just so we can see it about crowning. Then we'll move on into the back, at the very, very back, load that, and then same thing, crown it over just a little bit. Then we'll move over to this bin here, and then actually, you know, we'll go to the next bin because this one's starting to do okay, and moisture and the damage and everything. So we'll probably move over to that bin there, move the other conveyor over to there, and then start loading more. As you can tell, it's a blast, but whatever, it's part of the job. It's what we gotta do. Gotta keep moving. Also, I want to apologize to you guys too. Audio quality may be like hit or miss because I'm still learning the new mic here, so just please forgive me while I'm still learning everything new. It's going to be a learning process for a while as we just still learn all the new equipment and also get new equipment for the channel when I get money. It's nice to you. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. We will. I promise. And we are on to loading the back hopper now. So obviously, same thing as we did to front hopper, put about just a little bit at half, a little under half, load her in there, and we'll move over to the other bin. And I'll move that conveyor actually probably right after we get done. I don't know. We'll move it down. I don't know. But we'll move that conveyor over to the other bin and then start loading out that one. You guys picking up what I'm putting down. Hopefully it works. Hopefully still grades good. But we shall see. Maybe. So the junk corn is loaded up, and now we will head over to this bin and move this conveyor to another bin, and then load corn from that bin into the truck, and then take the truck to the plant, dump, come back, and do it all again. Also, I want to show you guys something that really irked my nerves yesterday. And what irked my nerves had to do with this. Actually, this exact point right here. So, we were loading corn out of this bin, and then was just going perfectly fine, and next thing you know, I noticed that the takeout here stopped running. Well, the main reason was because the dummy who put this on and did the maintenance on it last year, which I will say wasn't me, didn't torque, or well, at least tighten these 3 bolts down, and never tightened the keyway in, like through the set screw here. So this entire shaft and keyway came sliding off, and when it did that, tore up the belt, and then just made a big mess, and it put corn out everywhere because it went kind of haywire, and yeah. So, but now we got it fixed, so it doesn't matter anymore until we find something else that is messed up yet again, which it seems like I always have the tendency to find the things that are messed up, and then I got to be the one that fixes them. Guess it's just part of the job. Oh well. So we got that conveyor moved over. Wasn't hard. Actually, that's like one of our worst conveyors because it does have a problem with like starting and running. And actually today, luck must be on my side. Started up perfectly fine and it's running perfectly fine so far. Fingers crossed, but we'll see how the rest of the day goes. So we are back and we are currently dumping at the plant, and actually the corn's not looking too awfully bad. As you can see a little bit of the discoloration in there, but actually not looking bad. So I think we did a pretty good job. So I'd say our job on blending actually turned out to be fairly decent and better than I thought it was going to be. So fingers crossed that it doesn't show up on our sheets and we don't get docked for anything. Well, we got told to quit early, and I had someone else actually come and run one load with me, but unfortunately had to be done. But goddamn, so that's our 1988 379, and she's a unit. But yeah, like I just said, we actually just got told to be done for today because the plant was kind of getting close to being full. So now we're gonna have to go on to doing another project of fixing actually one of our bin sweeps that unfortunately broke on a previous time. And maybe we'll hop on to our other project here that is new to you guys and everything. We might try to get this done. What happened with this truck is the turbo actually went out on it. So actually we might not get it done, actually, that I'm thinking of it now. Reason I say is because we still have a couple more parts we're waiting on. We have the new turbo in. It's just a couple more things that we're waiting on. And yeah, we'll go from there. I think I can give you guys a little peek here. Yeah, so everything's almost back together. It's just waiting on a couple more things. But that'll be another update as we come. So just giving you guys a couple updates. Obviously, as you saw, our service dually is down, obviously because, like I said, the turbo went out. Also, another update is our fuel dually's back, which is so mind-blowing compared to like last week. We
were having problems with it and realized that it was a fueling problem. And what I believed was the CP4 was actually wrong. And that was my misassumption and just misdiagnosing, because I didn't really dig into it because there was many other things. But it is back from the shop. It was actually the inline fuel pump that was bad on it. And then we had them do like the glow plugs and a couple other things on there. So in reality, it did work out for us. So in the end, I'm glad we sent it there and to get it done. Now, we're going to hop on another project here. We're going to tear apart this bin sweep. Unfortunately, it still has corn still in the bin because the bin sweep won't work and we really just don't feel like vacuuming it. So we're going to give it a shot and see how well this works and see if we can get this done by ourselves. If not, we might have to have someone else come and help us, but we'll see how this goes. So just to give you guys a little bit of information, this is a new bin as of last year because of June 20th last year. We had some really bad storms here, and this bin here wasn't even here yet, but a lot of the other bins in the dryer and everything got knocked down due to the wind and tornadoes and all that in the area. You can look it up, the June 20th storm of North Dakota. It's actually where we had the first EF5 in 12 years. Actually nothing to be proud of because there were 3 people killed in it. But in the sense of things is that this is a new bin. This is the first time we were going to use the sweep, and we come in here and we realize that it wasn't all put back together. So I'll show you why. So what we're looking at here is, this is the gearbox coming out of the sweep, and we have our knuckle here gearbox that's coming out of the main takeout auger that goes up to the sweep, to the knuckle here, goes to the sweep auger. Well, there's supposed to be a keyway that goes into the side of this, also with a shear bolt here and a shear bolt on this side. Clearly, there is nothing there, as I can freely spin this by hand. So that creates the problem of dealing with all this. Now, with that being said, this is going to be kind of complicated to do because we still have the corn in here. I mean, you can see there's still probably a good 12 to 14 truckloads. Also with the leaning tower Pisa, aka corn, that's back there. That is absolutely solider, I don't even know if that's a word. Harder than concrete. So we got to also tackle that thing at some point. But our main task is we're going to try to get this sweep taken apart. So what we got to do is we got to take off the hanger bearing there, and then clean out towards the end of the wheel here, slide it over somehow by myself to be able to get this wheel taken off, to be able to undo all this so we can take that knuckle apart and deal with that problem. Ideally, not the most enjoyable thing to do. So we are going to give this a try by ourselves. It's not going to be fun, obviously, due to there's still corn in here. This is not a small sweep in a sense. I'm not exactly how big of a sweep it is. Either it's an 8 or 10 inch sweep, but still pretty big, heavy, and also doing this by myself. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to give it a try. Hopefully we can get it done. Fingers crossed. Again, there's been a lot of fingers crossing in this episode, but it's going to be quite interesting, guys. I just hopefully we can get her today, but we shall see. We shall see. It's going to be not easy, but I'll keep you guys updated as we go along. So I was able to get everything apart. Not the way that I actually was thinking. It was actually much simpler than what I was thinking and saying to you guys. So I was able to actually just move the auger shaft just down. So I was able to move the shaft just down with a pry bar, big tire pry bar, and be able to pull that knuckle off. Well, with that being said, I mean, as I thought that it wasn't put back together,
it absolutely just ground down on here. Now, fortunately, on the gearbox side there, everything's still good. So to determine on what happened was that they put the knuckle on backwards, and I'll explain to you guys why. Just give me a second here. We'll hop out of the bin and we'll look at the knuckle. So here's the knuckle outside of the bin. This is what's supposed to go in between the gearbox and the shaft. So if you look here, right there is a keyway slot. Well, if you remember when I was just showing you on the inside there, on the gearbox side, there's the keyway slot, and then plus on top, there's the set screw, and where your shear bolt's supposed to go right there. Well, then on the auger side, there's supposed to be no keyway, as there was no keyway on the auger side. So when they put this together, they had this backwards. So they had nothing. I don't even think they had a shear bolt in there. They just had a set screw and no keyway into the auger side. So they had this end on the gearbox. So until it was probably just catching enough and spinning and grinding down the shaft on the actual auger. Unfortunately, it's not ideal, but there's not much we can do about it. I already called the boss and just let him know. He's gonna make a couple phone calls. Hopefully we can get it replaced by them, but he'll let me know in a little bit. But in the meantime, we'll go figure something else out to do on the farm here. I'm sure there's plenty of other things that I can get done. So we'll just go find something to do. I mean, it's not Friday, it's not beer 30 yet. So yeah, we'll go find something. Well, if it can't just get any worse, I'll tell you, with all the problems going on with everything, let's just add on to another thing that we have going on. So, our 8400 is having problems. And the reason, I have no idea. I don't know why. So the 8400 here, it's an older tractor, obviously. It's actually the only John Deere tractor that we have. For some reason, it's losing prime. No idea why. We checked it over for fuel leaks, actually, and looked over everything. And the only thing I can determine to think what it is actually like the priming pump there. I think that's the only thing that it could be, or for some reason, if it's leaking air into, like, from the fuel filters at the O-rings there. It's maybe the only things I can think of, but past that, I have no idea. It's another project we're gonna dig into on top of the service dually, on top of the other truck that's down. It's endless amounts of projects, and we have the grain carts to get ready, and we have the combines to still get ready, and we're still waiting on the new combines to come here. It's a never-ending thing, but on the bright side, I can guarantee you this, guys. Fishing content and hunting content will be coming up soon, as August 15th is opening day of early season for goose, and I think we're gonna get some fishing content in this weekend. So let's go something other than farming problems. And let me tell you, I'm tired of dealing with farming problems, even though it is part of the job, and it is the lifestyle that we choose to live, us just as farmers. There's always something going on. But the hobbies are fishing and hunting and just being outdoors and spending time with family, which I think I might even do here soon. I think I might introduce you to my girlfriend and the kids and all of that. So that's something to come along the way here soon. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I think it's something that's coming in the line soon, because they obviously are a part of my life and everything else in that matter. And they're my absolute world. So you guys are part of the family. So I want you to actually meet my family at some point. So we'll get to that. But with that being said, I want to thank every single one of you guys that have viewed my YouTube shorts, my videos. I mean, this will be the only second video, but I thank each and every one of you. And if you guys can please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, what else you want to see, what other projects or other farming things or fishing things or hunting things you guys would like to see. Like I said, we have fishing content that'll be coming up soon. Hunting is coming into the season here soon. Also on top of that is harvest, but we do have early goose starting on August 15th. Plus, on the good news, here in North Dakota, we do the deer lotteries. I actually drawed a deer tag. So we will be going to Western North Dakota sometime this fall for an antlered, hopefully mule deer, but it's also good for whitetail. Some sort of antlered deer out there in Western North Dakota. So we'll be taking a trip out there with the family and doing some sort of hunt. So I thank you guys for everything you guys have done, from the views to the few comments we had, also the few subscribers, but I thank each and every one of you so much. I hope to grow the Dakota Dirt Outdoors brand and make it something that's a part of my family, you guys, and just make it into a community. Something I'm looking forward to is doing merch. So if you guys are interested into getting shirts, sweatshirts, hats, stickers, anything in that realm, let me know. The more people that just let me know, the more encouragement it gives me to actually do this. So thank you guys. Please, again, like, comment, subscribe to just let me know what you guys think. So thank you guys. See you in the next one.